Take out your wallet right now, or your purse, find one credit card, any card. Look at it for 3 seconds. Now think about this. When was the last time you checked your credit score? Maybe before you bought a house? Maybe before you applied for a car loan? Most adults check their credit score at least once a year. Some check it every month because we know instinctively that this number tells us something important about our financial future. Now answer this. When was the last time you checked your brain health score? Most people never have, because almost no doctor calculates one for you. And by the time most families find out theirs is in trouble, it's the same way most people find out their credit is wrecked. Too late for a quick fix. I'm Sean Smith. My wife Bridget and I are both certified dementia trainers. I've spent almost 20 years in healthcare, and the single most useful conversation I have with families is reframing brain health as something you can actually score, track, and improve. The same way you manage a credit report. If you're over 50 or you love someone who is, hit subscribe right now. I drop a new brain health video every 2 days. This is the one I want you to watch with your pen in hand, because by the end, you're gonna have a brain credit score. Yours, today. A few years ago, a couple sat in front of me. I'll call them Robert and Linda, both in their early 60s, both very successful. Both had spent decades managing their finances with real discipline. They tracked their credit scores monthly, quarterly meetings with a financial advisor. They knew their net worth to the dollar. Robert had recently been diagnosed with early memory changes. Doctors call it mild cognitive impairment. Linda was sitting next to him when they got the diagnosis, holding his hand, and she was in shock. She asked me a question I have never forgotten. Sean, we've tracked everything. Why didn't anybody tell us we should have been tracking this? That's the gap that nobody talks about. We track credit scores. We track retirement balances. We track cholesterol and blood pressure. And the most important asset we own, the one that runs every other one, we don't track it at all until something goes wrong. Today that ends. And by the end of this video, you'll have a 6-category brain credit score system. You'll know your score before this video is over. And you'll know exactly which 2 or 3 categories to invest in over the next 30 days for maximum return. Stay with me, get a pen, because here's a belief I want to challenge. Most people think brain health is a mystery, something you either get lucky with or you don't. Something genes decide, something doctors handle while you wait. That belief is the single most expensive belief most adults carry into their 50s and 60s. Why? Because it leads to inaction. If you believe your brain is decided by genetics, you do nothing. If you believe your doctor is monitoring it, you do nothing. If you believe it's a black box, you do nothing. And the research could not be clearer. In the 2024 Lancet Commission, 27 of the world's most respected dementia scientists, they confirmed that up to 45% of dementia cases are linked to factors you can actually change, not treat, not manage, prevent. Your doctor is not a black box. Your brain is an account with a balance that you can measure. And deposits and withdrawals you make every single day. Think about how a credit score actually works. It's not one big thing. It's a calculation across multiple categories. Payment history, credit utilization, length of credit history. Each category is weighted. Each one moves the scores up or down. And the system is designed so small, consistent behavior, paying on time, keeping balances low, compounds into a strong score over time. Your brain works in exactly the same way. There are 6 categories that determine your brain credit score. Each one has actions that add points. Each one has actions that subtract points. Today, we walk through every single one. You score yourself in real time. You leave with a number and a 30-day plan to raise it. Small deposits, big returns, compounded over time. Let's go. Now, each category is worth up to 6 points. Each category has a withdrawal worth -3. Track your score as we go. Add it up at the end. Category 1, physical movement. This is the highest leverage category in the whole system. When you move your body, your brain makes a chemical called BDNF. You don't need to remember that name. Scientists call it miracle growth for the brain. It builds new brain cells. It strengthens connections between the cells you already have. And it actively fights the damage that stress and aging do to your memory. 2 ways to score points. +3 points if you walk or do aerobics for 20 minutes or more every day. Not an hour, not a marathon. 20 minutes at a pace where you can still hold a conversation. That's the smallest dose that triggers real BDNF production. +3 points if you do resistance training twice a week. That just means lifting something, weights, dumbbells, or body weight, stuff like push-ups, squats, and planks. It keeps your muscles and your bones strong. Both of those are independently linked to better memory in adults over 60. -3 points if you sit most of the day. If you spend hours either stretching the chair, at a desk, in a recliner, in front of a TV, that adds up to a measurable cost over time. Score this one honestly. Pull out your phone, open your calendar, find tomorrow morning, block 20 minutes anywhere. Title it Walk. That's how this gets real. Category 2, sleep. Sleep is when your brain runs an overnight cleaning cycle. Scientists call it the glymphatic system. You don't need to remember the name. What you need to remember is this. This cleaning crew is only on duty when you're sleeping, and it clears out the exact toxic proteins linked to Alzheimer's disease. Cut sleep short and the cleaning crew never finishes. The waste accumulates night after night, year after year. Think of sleep like a dishwasher for your brain. If you never run it, the dishes stack up. And no amount of coffee covers for that. 2 ways to score. +3 points if you get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep most nights. Quality matters as much as quantity. 7 hours of broken sleep, restless sleep, is not the same as hours of deep restorative sleep. +3 points if you have a consistent bedtime routine. Same time, same wind down. Your brain runs on a kind of internal clock. A consistent routine helps it reach the deep stages where the real work happens. -3 points for chronic sleep deprivation, under 6 hours most nights. This is one of the most consistent risk factors in the modern dementia research. Sleeping 6 hours or less regularly in your 50s and 60s has been linked to meaningfully higher dementia risk compared to people sleeping 7. Score this one carefully. Sleep is the foundation everything else sits on. Open your phone. Set a bedtime alarm. 1 hour before you want to be in bed tonight. When it goes off, start winding down. Category 3, social connection. Loneliness carries the measurable health impact of smoking about 15 cigarettes a day. That's not a metaphor, that's research. From Dr. Julian Holt Lunston at Brigham Young University, drawing on data from over 3 million people across 148 states. Your brain is built for connection. When you have a real conversation, it works multiple parts of your brain at the same time. Language, emotion, memory, reading the other person. Without those interactions, those systems go quiet. And systems that go quiet, they shrink. 2 ways to score. +3 points if you have a meaningful conversation several times a week. Not a transaction at the pharmacy. Not a phone call with the doctor's office. Real conversations with people who actually know you. +3 points if you're part of a group, a club, a faith community, or a class. Structural connection. People who notice when you're not there. -3 points if you go most days without meaningful contact. If most of your days go by without real conversation with another human being, that's a measurable cognitive cost. This isn't about whether you live alone. Solo agents can score high in this category. It's about whether the connection actually happens. Open your phone. Pick one person you've been meaning to call for weeks. Hit call. Or if you can't right now, text 3 words, thinking of you. Send it before you watch more of this video. Now, quick check-in. These 3 categories down, 3 to go. Keep adding up your score. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly where you stand. If this is reaching you, I want you to hit subscribe. I drop a new brain health video every 2 days. Each one builds on the one before it. And the worksheet that walks through all 6 with the score chart and your 30-day plan is free in the description below. You can download it. Pause and download it right now. Print it out. 3 minutes. Now, 3 more categories, including one most adults have been quietly ignoring since their 40s. Category 4, nutrition. What you eat literally builds your brain. The membranes around your brain cells, they're made of the fats you consume, the chemical messengers that carry signals between those cells. They're built from the proteins and amino acids in your food. You're not just feeding your body, you're building the organ that runs your entire life. 2 ways to score. +3 points if you eat leafy greens, berries, fish, and nuts regularly. Leafy greens have nutrients that protect brain tissue. Berries, specifically blueberries and strawberries, are backed by a Harvard study following 16,000 women over 70. Women with more berries in their diet delayed cognitive aging by up to 2.5 years. Fish gives you omega-3 fats your brain cells are literally made from. And nuts, especially walnuts, they give you more of the same omega-3s. +3 points if you generally follow a Mediterranean-style eating pattern. Lots of vegetables, olive oil, fish, beans, whole grains. There's actually a brain-specific version of this called the Mind Diet. It's been studied directly for memory and cognitive health. The results are consistently positive. -3 points for high sugar, heavily processed food diet. Chronic high blood sugar damages blood vessels, including small vessels that quietly feed your brain. And chronic inflammation from processed food is increasingly linked to cognitive decline. You don't need to overhaul your kitchen tomorrow. One trade: berries at breakfast, walnuts instead of chips, salmon twice a week. Small swap, real return. Pull up your grocery list. Add 3 things: berries, walnuts, a piece of fish. Done. Category 5, mental engagement. Scientists call this cognitive reserve. Don't worry about the name. Think of it as a savings account inside your brain. The more deposits you make over your lifetime, the more your brain has to draw from when biology starts to shift. People with more in this savings account can absorb more brain change before symptoms ever start to show up. Same biology, different outcome, because of what they deposited along the way. 2 ways to score. +3 points if you're regularly learning something new, a language, an instrument, a craft, a new route, home from the grocery store. Anything that forces your brain to build new pathways instead of running on autopilot. +3 points if you teach, volunteer, or mentor in some way. Teaching is the highest form of learning. When you explain something to someone else, your brain is working on multiple levels at the same time. That kind of active, purposeful engagement is one of the most consistent predictors of long-term brain health. -3 points if your brain is on autopilot most days. Same routes, same routines, same conversations, same shows. Routine is efficient, but efficiency is not growth. New is what builds the savings account. The savings account is what buys you time. Pick one new thing. A YouTube tutorial about something you've never tried, a class at the library, a book in a genre you've never read. Choose it before the end of this video. Category 6, medical management. This is the category most adults underscore because it feels like personal than the others. It's also one of the highest leverage areas in the whole system. 2 ways to score. +3 points if your blood pressure is checked and managed. High blood pressure is one of the most consistent and most preventable risk factors for dementia. It quietly damages the small blood vessels that feed your brain without a single symptom for years. The target is below 120/80, not 120/80, below. If you're not there, the earlier you address it, the more brain tissue you protect. Plus 3 points if you're getting an annual physical and basic blood work. This is where you catch the silent issues: cholesterol, blood sugar, thyroid, vitamin D, B12. Each one of those has a direct connection to brain health, and each one is invisible until you test it. Minus 3 points if you're avoiding or delaying medical care. Most of the families I work with who lost someone too early, the warning signs were there for years. They were missed because the appointments were missed. Your annual physical is not optional. It's not. It's part of your brain credit report. Open your phone, tap your doctor's office, schedule your annual physical. If you haven't had your blood pressure checked in the last 6 months, ask for it at the visit. Set the appointment before the end of this video. Add up your score right now. There are 3 tiers. Tier 1, 25 to 36 points. Excellent credit. If you scored in this range, you're doing the work. Your brain is making consistent deposits across most categories. Your job is to keep compounding. Don't let the strong categories slip while you focus on the ones you're raising. Tier 2, 10 to 24 points. Building credit. This is where most adults land. You have good habits in some places and clear gaps in others. Pick the 2 categories where you scored the lowest. Those are your highest leverage targets for the next 30 days. Tier 3, below 10 points. Time to rebuild. If you scored here, do not panic. Don't feel ashamed. The same brain that built this score is the same brain that can rebuild it. The research is consistent. Your brain stays responsive to positive change well into your 80s and 90s. Brain plasticity does not retire. Start with one change, just one. The category that feels the most overwhelming, that's almost always the one with the highest return. And here's the most important rule of this entire system. A small deposit at 50 is worth 10 times more than a large deposit at 75. Time, consistency are 2 ingredients that make compound interest work for your retirement account and for your brain. 20 minutes of walking today doesn't feel like much, but 20 minutes a day for the next 10 years, that's the difference between a brain that's sharp at 75 and one that's struggling at 70. Look at the credit card in your hand or wherever you put it down. That card exists because somebody calculated your financial credit score and they quantified something visible. They turned it into a number you could see, track, and improve. Today, you did the same thing for your brain, and you now have a number. Maybe it's 30, maybe it's 18, maybe it's below 10. Whatever the number, that's your starting line, not your destination. Robert and Linda, the couple I told you about in the beginning, they eventually built a system around Robert's brain health that mirrored the system they'd always used for their finances. Monthly check-ins, quarterly adjustments, specific category targets. Robert's diagnosis didn't reverse, but it stabilized. He stayed engaged with the family. He kept his sense of himself. Linda told me last year, "Sean, we finally got proactive. I just wish we'd started 20 years earlier." Start now, wherever you are. I made you something. Bridget and I built it together. It's a free worksheet called your Brain Health Credit Score. It walks you through scoring yourself, interpreting your number, building your 30-day deposit plan. 3 actions, 3 categories, 1 reassessment date. The link is in the description below. Download it, print it, score yourself this week, and share this video with someone you love who's over 50. Send them the worksheet. Compare scores. This is the conversation most families never have, and it's the one that compounds the most over time. Subscribe to this channel. Your new brain health video lands every 2 days. Next up, we go deep into the highest leverage category from today, the one that returns more than almost any other investment in your brain can make. Don't miss it. Small deposits, big returns compounded over time. We don't age quietly, we age wealthily. See you in 48 hours. Take care of your brain, people.